Experience a tranquil spring morning with me as I photograph rare and beautiful birds and encounter a few surprises along the way. Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tobias and I'm a 20-year-old wildlife photographer from Norway. And now spring has arrived in eastern Norway where I live, and spring is always a really hectic time for us wildlife photographers because there's so much happening all at the same time, and it's really difficult to know which projects and which species to prioritize. So today I've come to this beautiful little pond to photograph one bird in particular. The bird in question is called the horned grebe or Slavonian grebe, and it's a really beautiful bird. It's got these orange tufts on its head which give it the name horned grebe, and it's a relatively uncommon breeder around these parts. But as much as this rare, beautiful subject excites me, my real excitement for today lies within the conditions, because it's just such a beautiful morning. It's completely still, there's not a breath of wind, and yesterday we had some rainfall, so now there's just so much humidity causing this beautiful mist to form over the pond. These conditions are perfect for photographing waterfowl. This sounds very promising because that is the call of the Slavonian grebe. Oh, there is a grebe coming towards me now, so I need to get my camera out. The first individual that I just saw swam away while I was setting up, but it's no worries because now it's just going to be a game of patience. Now, I have been here quite a lot of times before, and I know that every now and again they do come by just in front of me here, and the reason for it is that there is quite a bit of vegetation and old dead trees and branches laying in the water, and this is creating the perfect habitat for their food sources such as small fish and newts. So if I just wait here, they will probably come back, and I might even get some feeding situations. That would be fantastic. But yeah, I'm just happy to be out. So if I just get some photos of the horned grebe in these fantastic conditions, then I'm very happy with the outcome of today. The grebe is coming back. Without a ripple in sight, the motionless water lay blanketed by a veil of mist, all contributing to the most serene morning atmosphere I could imagine. And I cannot think of a better subject to photograph on such a tranquil spring morning than the bizarre and beautiful horned grebe. After laying still for a while, I observed as the grebe started hunting, preening and paddling by with nesting material, all only a matter of meters in front of me. It felt truly rewarding to be accepted in their presence and be allowed to photograph their natural behavior without disturbing. was just a common sandpiper that landed about 30 meters away, and it is slowly but steadily making its way towards me. The common sandpiper is actually a species I have relatively few images of, despite it being a really common species. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna try and lay as still as possible and see if maybe it's gonna come close. The mist has now dispersed, meaning that the magical atmosphere of dawn has disappeared. And as much as I would have loved for it to stay longer, I think it's important to appreciate that it is the fleeting nature of those conditions and of those mornings that make them so special. And change isn't necessarily a bad thing, and the photo shoot is far from over. But now I just need to adapt and think a bit differently about what kind of images I want to make. So my idea now is to try and make some blackout simplistic images, because there are some shady sections in front of me where I think by working with backlight, I think it could work really nicely. As I waited for the horned grebes to come back, great-crested grebes, common sandpipers and goldeneyes kept me entertained. Although not as exotic and strikingly beautiful as the horned grebes, they were nice subjects to keep the wait interesting. Eventually, the horned grebes reappeared, and against the still black water, I could photograph their golden tufts glowing in the morning sun. I noticed that one of the horned grebes did a little jump every time it went down, in contrast to his mate who had a much smoother dive. So focusing on the jumping individual, I worked on capturing the elegant glass sculptures he created every time he plunged into the water. I was just making my way back to the car and look who I came across. It's a newborn roe deer fawn. Judging by the size, I don't think it's more than a couple of days old. But when you come across scenes like this, it's very important to not touch or move the fawn, as mother is probably somewhere close by feeding, and this little fella is just waiting for her to come back. So I'm just going to grab a few shots and then I'm going to leave her. But this was such a fun surprise to round off the day with. Such a beauty. Before I end the video, I would like to show you a selection of some of my favourite moments that I captured by this pond over the past few years. So sit back, relax and enjoy the beauty of the horned grebe and its neighbours.